All right. So the next thing I want to talk about, again, this is another kind of post 300 story, but I think it's something, this is perfect for us because it's something we can follow up on. And it kind of directly relates to Jamahal Hill and the fight announcement that he made, or that the UFC made regarding him quite recently. Now, we did make a video about Jamahal, well, technically two, in fact, where we made our feelings clear that the only opponent that made sense for Hill was to fight Yuri Prohaska. You know, both former champions, they have the history, and they've both suffered recent losses to the current champion, and in very similar circumstances. Fuck how much sense that's all seemed to make, and apparently how we feel about it, because as soon as that video dropped, we quickly found out that Hill had accepted a fight and a quick turnaround to take on Khalil Rountree at UFC 303. So, what do you think of the matchup as a whole? Do you think that Hill is turning around too early after getting smashed? And how do you think this fight goes?
Oh, man. So, as far as him taking the fight so quickly after getting hurt like that. Now, I mean, the ground and pound did have him out. Like, he was asleep. I saw his head flopping, so he was out of there. I'm surprised that there wasn't a medical suspension that prevented this, but if he feels okay to go back in there, then, you know, who are we to say? But, you know, from the outside looking in, I thought he came into this fight against Alex too soon, and I think that this next fight is, again, too soon against somebody who is known to be able to crack. You know, he can go and ask his buddy Anthony Smith how it feels to get hit by him. Like, he knows, he could tell you. A fully healthy Jamahal Hill in this fight, I would favor him easily. I would favor him. I think that his length would provide or present a problem to, you know, somebody who fights in that primary Muay Thai style, who relies on getting close, getting in the void and fighting in there. Typically, Jamahal doesn't let you get in there without getting punished before you get there. But one thing that Khalil Rountree does also have is, I think he has some stoppages via leg kicks. And as we discussed before the Alex Pereira fight, even though Alex didn't have to use it, that was one of the concerns. And this goes back to the taking the fight a little too early situation. I think that Khalil does have a path to victory, and it starts from the ground up. If he's able to destroy those legs, he can then enter the void and let his hands go. Skill for skill, I think Jamahal Hill is a better skilled fighter. I think he's a better all-around fighter. And if it was 100% versus 100%, I'm taking Jamahal Hill. But I still have that lingering doubt that he's not all the way there. And I think that he's taking this at the wrong time. And props to Khalil for taking the fight when he's going to take it. This is a great time to take it. You're fighting a wounded animal, you know. So I think that Jamahal can win, but I think it makes it a lot more even with that injury, man. I really do. And I think this is Khalil's fight to lose. He's ready to go. He's going to seize the opportunity, and it's going to suck, because I don't think that this is the true Jamahal Hill that we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of baited you into this question because you know that I know that you know what you were going to say, because we have had conversations about Khalil. We haven't had conversations about this fight, but we've had conversations about Khalil like off air. I do have like complex and confusing feelings about this one as well. Mm-hmm. From Hill's perspective, I actually think this is kind of a smart decision on his part. So I've got kind of the opposite view. Forget about it being Khalil for a moment. Like, he's clearly very bitter about getting humiliated in front of like the biggest viewing audience in a very long time.
Yeah.
And I understand the urge to want to get back in there as soon as possible and right that wrong immediately.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, if he'd opted to take a fight with Yuri, I would have said very bad idea, especially after getting smashed out that badly. But you know how I feel about Khalil Rountree.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and be fair. I think Khalil Rountree is as useful as a moldy bag of dog shit. I think he's awful. So I think is I'm not just going to say it. I'm not just going to throw that out there and just leave it. I'm gonna try and back this up to some extent. I'm not a total asshole. I mean, I am, but I can back it up. Let's consider his fighting style. Yeah. Now he does have some power, but if you've watched him, I mean, this guy is so telegraphed and so one-dimensional that power should really be completely redundant against anyone that has half a brain. As you mentioned, he does have nice kicks, and especially he's not entirely boxing heavy or entirely kicking heavy. He does mix things up a little bit. But what's very bizarre about Khalil Rountree's style, he doesn't switch stances whatsoever. He strikes from one side constantly. He's also got zero cardio. Like he gasses horribly time and time again, and these are in 3-round fights. I genuinely don't understand how he's won that many fights until, and this is what I always do when I'm doing a little examination, I looked at his record. So let's examine this little shit show as well. So, he beat Anthony Smith, who was washed up, jumping off the couch. And I watched that fight again, he was still managing to get pieced up in boxing range for large parts of that fight. Took until the third to get rid of him. He beat Chris Daukaus, who, let's be honest here, is allergic to fighting black guys. We've got Dustin Jacoby, who... and that to me was one of the worst underrated robberies of all time. I thought Jacoby dominated that fight. Outside of, there was one moment when Jacoby was having so much fun beating him up and he got caught. He beat Carl Robertson, who's dumb and has no chin. And then he beat Modestas Bukauskas. There was a leg kick that snapped a tendon, and apparently it was a pre-existing injury, and he won that fight. Before that staggering run, he got fucking dominated by Prachnio, and then he got sparked out by Ion Kutalaba, who was one of the dumbest fighters I've ever seen. And then he got into a war with Johnny Walker and got chinned. This is the thing. There's an alarming amount of people, and I'm not shitting on you for this, because you know what you're talking about. There are an alarming amount of people on Twitter when this fight was announced that are picking Khalil to win this fight very, very clearly. So he beats 5 of these scrubs, and then he cries in a press conference, and then now he's 8th. He's 8th in the rankings. So I'm just gonna stop, because I can keep going on about this guy all day. I don't know what it is about this guy that seems to annoy me, because he's nice. He's a nice guy.
You know why he's 8th in the rankings, and it goes back to a previous video that we just did earlier. Is because of who he beat. He beat Anthony Smith, who happened to be ranked.
That's a fair point. But Anthony Smith shouldn't have been.
And ranked. we all know. I love Anthony Smith, but it's. I mean, you should be taking fun fights, and you know what fun fights mean. So, he beat the opportune dude to get into the rankings. That is not we all knew how that was going to go before it happened.
No, but I do agree with you to an extent, yeah. But this is where you have to own up a little bit here, yeah. Because after that fight, who did you say you wanted him to see fight next?
Hey, I did say, go ahead and book it, man. I forgot, yeah. I did say it. No, and my reasoning for saying that was because of the occupation of all of the other fighters. I was like, hey, man, go and get him a win, man. Go. I didn't think that he could beat Alex Pereira, but I was like, it'd be entertaining, and it's another win, a title defense. There you go. It wasn't necessarily because I thought he deserved it, because no. But if everybody else is booked and he wants to fight, it's literally the same reason that I
loved your rationale for it. It was one of my favorite. It was one of the first interviews one of the first interactions we had together on camera, and I was like, yeah, nah, bro. I didn't feel like I didn't know you that well at the time, and I was like, how do I say that this is unbelievable what he's just said? It's crazy.
Hey, it's all about timing.
You don't really say crazy stuff. You're very consistent.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it's all about timing. Like if everybody's booked up, they've already signed their contracts on who they're going to fight.
But can
and
I
the
say
champ says he wants to, it's like, go ahead and find somebody for him. It's the same thing as Dustin. Does Dustin deserve the title fight? No, of course he doesn't deserve a title fight. He just got knocked out in the fight before that.
But this is the
if
thing.
There's nobody else.
Yeah, when you said it, I thought you were crazy. And then I was thinking, what the hell? What a crazy take. And then literally, since then, I've seen that opinion come up many times. Many people feel the same way. So I'm like, maybe I'm stupid. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Maybe there's something I'm not seeing.
And that's the thing is like, no, you're not. It's just opportunity. Ain't nobody there. It's like, well, dude.
I mean, that's fair. I just don't see what...
You remember when TJ Dillashaw, he had to defend the belt because I want to say Renan Barao, he was going to fight for the belt and he got hurt and he had to fight Joe Soto. Like, who was you didn't even know who Joe Soto was. But he came in and fought for a belt.
I don't even know who that is. I'll be honest. I don't know who
that is. I mean, as soon as he came in, he basically went right back out. Like, it's opportunity. If everybody's booked up, it's like, well, we can build a story around this Cinderella fight that's about to happen. We don't think he's going to win this, but at worst, we can get Alex another title defense, so he's going to look even more formidable in the next fight. Yeah. So that was my only reason. And plus, I thought it was going to be exciting. He's not going to grapple him, and another chance for Alex to win.
This is another thing that I find bizarre because I find Khalil Rountree fucking boring as well. Like he does knock people out, like he has done it from time to time, but the majority of his fights are terrible. Very slow. He's very inactive, and I think this is why I think this is a great turnaround for Hill, because he gets a very quick turnaround against a fighter that I think is fucking crap. But and the great thing about it is, so many people have been gaslit into believing that he's exciting and good. So this is perfect for Hill. So I'm going to ask you to bookmark this, whoever's listening. Hill is going to wipe the floor with him. Hill is going to fuck him up. My issue is, my only issue with the whole fight is I don't know what Khalil Rountree has shown or done to deserve fighting a former champion this early. But what I will say is that Twitter seems so split on it, and the people that I've spoken, not just about it, but what I've seen, are so split on it, that I think the odds are going to be swayed in a way. I think we're going to get very, very nice odds on Hill. I reckon he comes in probably as like a minus 150. Something like that. When, as you said, like a fully healthy Hill would probably be a minus 400 in this fight. But we're going to get good odds. We're going to get good odds, and I'm going to get paid, my friend. I'm saying this now. I'm going to get second house money from this fight. I'm going to go in. I'm laying down a big golden egg on this.
Yeah, you that confident?
Oh yeah, bruv. Can you see the chest right now? I'm absolutely certain. This would genuinely be the biggest. And I know Hill just got sparked out. I get it. Levels, man. Hill is way. This isn't even. Can't even believe that we're talking about this. Hill is way better than Khalil Rountree.
Yeah, I think he's better too.
We've seen. I mean, the thing is, I get where you're coming from because he has had some impressive performances. I can't help shitting on him. I can't help it. I just don't think he's
defenseless. Good. He's such a nice guy. But I don't know. I think it'll be interesting if Hill is Wolverine and he is fully healed. Yeah. I don't think this is the proper time for him to be fighting.
The thing is, I honestly think he's fine. Like, I mean, I know the leg kicks could be a thing and whatnot. You could kick him in the leg, but honestly, I think give Hill, because it's another 8 weeks, right?
Yeah.
I think Hill's going to be fine. And I think he's going to detonate that chin. I really do. I think he's going to... It wouldn't surprise me if he sparks him out in the first round.
Man. I mean, that would be great for him. That would be great for him.
That's the thing. It would be great for him because people think Roundtree's really good. I don't understand.
It'll be great. Yeah, it's a win-win. For them. Like if Khalil wins, then now we have to talk about it more.
We're gonna have to do a live stream that night because if it goes badly for me, I'm gonna be fucking embarrassed. It might be the most embarrassing fuck up I've ever done. So it could be worth bookmarking this moment and then throwing it in my face because it's only 8 weeks away.
Yeah,
it's not like you have to keep the receipt in your pocket for a long time. It's gonna be there.
Yeah, y'all will remember.